as of today, I can say with almost certainty, at some point this year, Kevin Durant is going to be suiting up for the Philadelphia 76ers. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the Sixers Break Room. Before we get into why I believe that, don't forget to like the video and, of course, subscribe to the channel. It's free love. It makes you dope, costs you nothing, does a whole lot for me. Now, Kevin Durant, there are once again rumors circulating that the Philadelphia 76ers have become, quote, a desired location or a desired landing spot for Kevin Durant. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? My brother says it all the time. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And we keep hearing these little inklings, these little drop of information here, drop of information there, that the Sixers are interested in Kevin Durant. And in the video that I posted a few weeks back when I talked about possible landing spots for Kevin Durant, I do feel like the Sixers could offer a package that is probably the most enticing package. What I mean by that is not they're going to have the most first-round draft picks to give out, but you allow the Nets to be somewhere between rebuilding and competitive, which I know a lot of folks might say that that's a bad place to be, but the Nets, according to reports, want to remain competitive. Now, I don't think there's anything that any team can give the Nets that'll make them a championship contender, which means no matter what, if they want to contend, they're going to be stuck between rebuilding and contending, right? The Sixers are able to put together a package that could look something like this: Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle, and some draft picks. Is there really, can anybody out there, and listen, if you think I'm just being biased, let me know in the comment section below, but is there anybody out there who can say confidently that there's a better deal than that? I mean, I just don't see it. You got Tyrese Maxey, who's an emerging star in the NBA. You got Tobias Harris, who's a certified professional bucket. You get a guy like Matisse Thybulle, who is a lockdown defender now, and if he developed a jump shot, he'd probably be at the top tier of 3-and-D guys, and then you get a couple of draft picks. Now, on the Sixers side of this, I've been seeing a lot of Sixers fans talk about that they wouldn't want to trade like this because it means giving up Tyrese Maxey, and I want to talk about that a little bit. I love Tyrese Maxey. I really do. He's one of my favorite Sixers. I love that he's a guy that we drafted. I love that he's young, passionate, energetic. He wants to get better. Like you're hearing all offseason, he's working out 2 or 3 times a day. I love hearing all of that. However, this is what I'll say in regards to giving up Maxey and why I personally would do it. Joel Embiid is in his prime right now. So like we tend to believe that primes are a long period of time, but in reality, primes are very short, especially the prime of big men, who have had injury troubles in the past. Like Joel Embiid is, in my opinion, a top 5 player in the NBA, but it's very possible that in 2 or 3 years, that's not the case. It's very possible that when he falls off, he's going to fall off. And I don't even want to say this, knock on wood, but it's also possible that he doesn't remain healthy. That was always the issue with Joel Embiid. I mean, just 2-3 years ago, there was still concerns of whether he would make it through an entire season. Last year was the most games he ever played, and he still didn't play a whole season. You know what I mean? He missed some time. So when I look at Tyrese Maxey and his potential, I see him as a guy that by the time he reaches his peak, he might not have the pieces around him to make us a championship team. By the time Maxey reaches his peak, James Harden is likely going to be past his prime if he's even still with the team. By the time Maxey reaches his peak, Joel Embiid is probably going to be past his time. And then all of a sudden, you're going to be looking at the Sixers and be like, Tyrese Maxey needs help. They got to bring in a guy to help Tyrese Maxey. Now, that's why I would give him up. If you give him up, you get Kevin Durant, who right now is still a top 5 player in the NBA, to go along with Joel Embiid, who's a top 5 player in the NBA, and James Harden, who when he's healthy is still probably in that 12 to 15 range. So you could have 3 of the best 15 players in the NBA all on the same team and give yourself a chance to win a championship now. The Sixers are very clearly in win now mode. That's why you bring in a PJ Tucker. That's why you trade for DeAnthony Melton on draft night. That's why you bring in a Daniel House. That's why James Harden takes the pay cut that he did. They're in win now mode, and nothing says win now more than giving up a promising young player for a superstar caliber player like Kevin Durant. Again, it would hurt me. It would hurt my soul to see Tyrese Maxey in another uniform, especially a Brooklyn Nets uniform. But if the Sixers are truly in win now mode and you can get Kevin Durant, I just don't see how you say no. And if you're the Brooklyn Nets, who are still trying to remain competitive, I don't know that there's a better package out there than bringing back Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle, and maybe even some first-round draft picks. But hey, that is just my opinion. I definitely want to hear from you guys. So sound off in the comment section below. Do you believe, like I believe, that Kevin Durant will indeed end up playing for the Philadelphia 76ers at some point this season? And if you do, what do you think it's going to take? What do you think, or who do you think the Philadelphia 76ers are going to have to give up to make this trade happen? Please sound off in the comment section below. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, it's free for you. Just a couple of clicks, and it helps me out a whole lot. And if you want to support in other ways, don't forget you can become a member today. That link is in the description below. Damn, man, Kevin Durant might really be a Sixer. That's crazy. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.